Okay folks, thanks very much for joining us. I'm going to be tying up a lock fly here, a trout fly, and it's called Orange Peggy. It's a fly that originates from Lough Erne, named after Orange Peggy of Trasna Island. So unlike most of my flies I'm tying, I have no tag to tie in, so I'm just going to bring my thread on down to the body just before where it starts to bend, usually between the barb and the point. Okay, and for the tail of this fly, it's going to be a tippet of golden pheasant. So the way I do it is I just basically spread them out a little bit so they're fairly uniform. Hold the bottom and basically cut into it. You're wanting, for this size of fly, probably about 8 or 10 fibres. Okay, so that's it there, fairly level. You can have the peel size to the top or the bottom, it doesn't really matter. But for lengthwise, you probably want it about the length of the shank, so where I'm holding it now. And then I'm going to just catch it in loose, pinch and loop, and just tie down on top of that there. And again. Okay. So then for the rib of the fly, the rib's going to be gold oval. So I have a bit here. In fact, I'll cut off another bit. I'm just using small gold oval here. And I'll just tie that in underneath. Catch it underneath. Start making my way towards the rear of the body. And then again, I've got the rib connecting down below. What I'm going to do is I'm going to use my body material to put on top. So I've got 2 strands of black floss that I'm going to tie in using the bobbin. I'm going to connect them. So basically the 2 strands turn into 4. I'm going to tie that in on top, securing the floss at the same time as securing the rib. And then just tie that down to where the tail meets the end of the hook. Okay, then I'm going to level off the body a bit as I go up. Got that excess of the tinsel there. Just remove that. I'm going to put my floss in the spring here, just out of the way. Okay, and then just going to level up the body a bit for a neater finish. Okay, and then just wind on your floss. As you go up the body. You can use 1 or 2 strands. I use 2 and double it to 4, but it's just for saving a wee bit of time. It's entirely up to yourself. Sometimes I twist the strands too as I'm going up the body. A wee bit of unraveling there, so another reason. Okay. And then secure that in a couple of turns. I'm going to neaten at this stage because there's a few wee fibres at the top here. Okay. Now then. So this has a palmered body. It doesn't have a full palmered body, so only about half the fly is palmered. And it's basically orange, so after the name. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to remove the softer fibres at the bottom here. I'm going to put plenty of waxwork thread for this part and tie in from the base of the stalk. Usually I tie in at the tip, but for a palmered body you want to be tying at the base of the stalk. Okay. Then use your hackle pliers. So I just have cheap hackle pliers with some silicone junction tube at the end, gives me a good grip. Start winding on. So I always do a couple of turns just at the neck. So that's 1, 2, and then start to go up the body. So I'm only doing a couple of turns, so that'll probably do me there. This is the fiddly bit now. I want to put on the rib and catch that on at the same time. 1. Okay. Right then. So cure that in. Just put any fibres that are pointing forwards, backwards. Just run your thread over it. And then just make sure that your rib isn't tying in too many fibres before you cut off your excess. Okay. And then for the front part of the body, or for the front hackle, sorry, it's hen hackle. That's quite a long hen hackle, a lot longer than the body hackle. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to break off the tip, expose a few fibres, wax my thread here. I'm going to just tie in at that broken section, bring a few fibres back and tie in on top. Now, I usually tie a cock hackle, but because this is hen, you don't really need to train the fibres. You can actually just put them as you're going along, similar to the way you would for golden pheasant. Okay, so I'm going to do a few turns of this here. So I'm just doubling back on each turn. I think this will probably do me, so I'm going to remove some excess, or what I believe will be excess fibres. Okay, now this is the fly I've never tied before. It's meant to be good for trout, but I'll probably try it for salmon as well. Bit of a bigger hook here. And it's meant to be very popular for Mayfly time on Lough Erne. It's where it was named after, originates after Orange Peggy from Trasna Island on the lower loch. Okay, so just going to secure that in. And yeah, like look at that there. Okay, so just going to build up a wee bit of the head again just for extra security. And then I'm going to whip finish. Two, three, 4, 5. Okay, folks, and that is your Orange Peggy fly. Definitely worth a go. Lovely little fly actually. It's the first time I've actually seen it in colour. I've only seen it in black and white. It's nice to actually see it in colour. As always, if you like the video, hit that like button down below. Give us a wee bit of feedback or drop us a wee comment. If you know a wee bit more about this fly, I'd love to hear more about it as well. If you've had any success or even the history of the fly, drop us a wee comment below, sure. Hit that subscribe button if you haven't already done so. And as always, I'll see you next time. Tight lines.